Today, we're doing a review of the Wotancraft EasyPack 15-liter backpack. I've been using this bag on and off for almost a year now, and I got a lot to say, and I'm gonna do it from my experience of having reviewed over 500 of the world's best bags. In this video, we're gonna pack the bag out. I'm gonna give you my honest pros and cons, and in the case that you're not quite sure this is the pack of your dreams, you're gonna wanna stick around to the end of the video where I'll make some alternative recommendations that might be a bit more up your alley. But first up, let's talk about the gist of the Wotancraft EasyPack 15-liter. So real fast, today's review lineup is myself, Aaron, in front of the camera, and our media manager, Margaret, behind the camera. And the third member is Mr. Wotancraft EasyPack. And if you don't know, Wotancraft is a Taiwanese carry company. And they're known for making a lot of gear that caters more to photographers, but that doesn't mean you have to own a camera to get value out of their gear. I, for one, am terrible with cameras. That's why I have a media manager, Margaret. Thanks, Margaret. And I still got a ton of value out of this pack. Let me tell you why and run you through some of the top features. First up, we got this patch slot right there, so you can customize your bag. A super lightweight fabric and build, which is gonna have its unique set of pros and cons that I'll talk about in the next chapter. 2 MOLLE attachment point strips down the center front. A quick access front pocket, clamshell style opening to the main compartment, a beautiful army green lining, at least for the black version. I'm not quite sure about the colored lining when it comes to the khaki version. We've got 2 quick access side pockets, which are very interesting, quite functional, but I got a couple gripes in them as well. And a harness system that features very wide and comfy shoulder straps, but a pretty basic back panel. Now the bag currently comes in 2 color options, black and khaki. This is the khaki color for the Wotancraft Sling. What's the name of this sling, Margaret? Sling Pouch 3.5. Nailed it. For dimensions, we got a height of around 16.5 inches, a width of around 11 inches, and a fully packed out base depth of around 7 inches. Now the size is marketed as 15 liters. I think it's bigger. Reason being, I've just tested so many bags over the years. This just feels like it fit a lot. Now, 15 liters is great for EDC if you don't carry too much gear. And my suspicions are indeed confirmed. You can see we're at 5, 10, 15, almost 20 liters of capacity. And that's just the main compartment. I didn't load out anything else in the bag. Which means I'm saying this thing is comfortably giving you 20 liters of capacity. But the bag still has a really small frame, so that extra volume is in its depth. And we'll kind of talk about that and the pros and cons pertaining to that a bit further in the review. Now for the weight, Wotancraft advertises this at 750 grams, which is 0.75 kilos, which we are getting on the money. Nice work, Wotan. Which for all you Americans out there, myself included, I have no idea what 750 grams even means. Not a drug dealer. All right, it's 1.6 pounds. Although I will admit the metric system is far and away superior, every way, shape, and form. No doubt about that. This is the EasyPack when it's empty. This is the EasyPack when it's fully packed out and worn on the Nomads Nation team. I'm 5'8", and our media manager Margaret is 5'2". And don't worry, we're gonna pack out the bag throughout the entire review so you can see exactly what it fits. Wotancraft offers a 3-year repair warranty. And for all that, the bag runs around 199 USD. And real fast, while you're watching this review, if at any point you're thinking about making a purchase or you wanna find out more information, we highly recommend doing so using the first link in the description below. Reason being, that link makes sure that you get the best price, and we oftentimes have discount codes. But that link also helps support the Nomads Nation YouTube channel and team so we can keep making the best gear reviews on the web. Thank you very much. All right, let's talk about the front of the Wotancraft EasyPack 15-liter. And I'm gonna rant a little bit about the aesthetic because I think it's one of the most important points of this pack. And first thing, it's not 100% on the front, but I just wanna talk about these zipper pullers because I bought these extra. So it should be noted that Wotancraft does not include any zipper pullers? I can't even remember. I bought this bag like a year ago, like I said. And with my own money too, like we get a lot of bags sent to us for free. But Wotancraft, they never reached out to me. And I always saw them and I was like, oh my God, their bags look so cool. I'm going to buy one. And I was in Vietnam at the time and I paid extra tariff and import fees, like almost doubled the price of the bag. That's how bad I wanted it. I had to be one with the Wotang clan, dude. Oh, that's awesome. So the stock version of this bag does not come with any zipper pullers, just the metal zipper heads. But then Wotancraft makes these gorgeous zipper pulls that you can buy for extra price. And like, I'm not usually into this. I'm not, but like, I just love the way it looks with Wotan. I think it's the canvas and just the beautiful weave of all these different zippers. Like, I was a big fan. I had to buy a few of them, but I gotta say, I love the way these orange zipper pulls work with the black. It's definitely one very cool thing about like getting into the Wotan ecosystem. But one other note on the aesthetic is the fact that you have this patch location right here at the top. Now, this patch is a vertical one. Unlike the zipper pullers, it does come with a stock patch, which is this bad boy right here. And I have no idea what it says. Margaret, what does this say?
It seems like some sort of old Chinese or something.
See, it's her language and she can't even read it. Chinese is crazy. I ask my wife all the time. She's like, I don't know what that word is. I'm like, how do you not know what it is? Like, I don't know what it is. Chinese is a different level. And this patch is made with a beautiful leather, but as much as I love that patch, no imagination, also ain't nothing to with. Let me rant a bit more on this aesthetic. I know I'm rambling a bit, but this is where you're either gonna love or hate the pack, because one thing that this pack does is it gets a little like kind of lumpy looking. And the reason is it's so lightweight in its build that when it's very, very packed out, and just with the design, especially with these side pockets the way that they are, where it just sort of has like this rounded, curvy kind of a look. It's kind of cool, but also a little dorky at the same time. But I wanna know what you think. Like, let me know in the comments below. The aesthetic, do you vibe with it? Can the bag get a little too like rounded for you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. All right, now next up, let's talk about Wotancraft's fabric. You can see right here, they're using different colors of the same material. It's a dual coated, water repellent, 500D nylon canvas. It sort of looks and feels like a 500D, but like a thinner version. And the canvas is where you can still see it actually still can hold a bit of a patina, but I don't believe it's real canvas. I think it's like 100% nylon and they throw the canvas on there. Not them, I believe it's Cordura. I'm not sure if it's Cordura, but anyways, it's definitely more on the nylon side than the canvas side, but it's a fabric that's gonna have a ton of abrasion resistance and pretty good water resistance as well. Now down the middle of the EasyPack, we have a MOLLE system, which for me, I kind of like the look of. I think it kind of gives it like a little bit of a tactical vibe without being too like go rock or see tactical. I don't know, just something about the aesthetic of it coming right down the middle like this, I think looks really cool. I've never clipped something onto it once, but if that's your thing, it can totally be done. Last point on the front, let's talk about this quick access pocket, which as you can see is super easy to get into with the fact that this is a non-PU coated zipper. So it's very speedy, very easy to open. Also should mention all these zippers are in fact YKK. This is a number 8, and you can see inside. Now, this is a big panel. It's the entire area of the front of the bag. And because of the design and the pleats at the top, this panel's got a lot of volume. So much so that you can probably fit a DOP kit in there by itself and maybe even a hoodie. Now you wouldn't want to because this would make the bag look crazy. But just to like showcase, you know, that closed with a hoodie and a big old DOP kit in there, which makes it a very versatile front pocket. But for most of us, we're just gonna love that quick access, swing the bag around, grab what you need. But it's not a front pocket with any additional organization. So if you're used to the Evergoods like CPL24 setup, where you swing that front pocket around and there's pockets within that pocket for extra organization, then this might be a little lackluster for you. Also, while I am in love with the green lining, it's not the lightest, so it doesn't help to create that highlight effects in the bag that us in the carry community have grown so accustomed to. But I will say I think it's an absolutely stunning lining. So I'm just gonna throw a couple quick things in there, including an umbrella, headphones. That's it. Moving on, let's talk about the middle of the Wotancraft EasyPack 15 liter. Getting into the main compartment is a breeze. We got these 2 zippers, YKK again. And like I said, clamshell style opening. And also that beautiful army green interior. Now on this side, we have the laptop sleeve, and that's it. Like, it's minimalist as with this bag. Now be aware that this laptop sleeve is actually Velcro as well, which means you can throw a patch on there for some internal decoration. And also this allows you to sort of configure your own personal customization when it comes to Wotancraft's modular ecosystem. They sell a bunch of nicks and knacks that I'll be honest, I personally haven't tested out because I'm not really into like modular ecosystems that much. But if it is your thing, it could be a big selling point for this bag. Now before we fill up this main compartment, let's talk about the laptop compartment. Let's see if a 6-inch MacBook Pro cutout can fit. Now you're not gonna be able to squeeze your laptop in this way. So Wotancraft has given us a PU coated zipper here at the top, a little half moon opening, which then gives you the ability to put a laptop in here, and we're just, it's just barely gonna fit. That's tight. That is a very tight squeeze. Yeah, I'm gonna say if you got a 16-inch, probably don't use it with this bag. If you do, you're gonna have a bad time. It's just gonna be really difficult to put in the bag and to take it out. You saw the extra oomph I had to put into it. But you can see it does fit, so any laptops that are smaller, even just ever so slightly than a 16-inch MacBook Pro will fit. Now, the PU coated zipper for the laptop compartment is nice because it will help with weather resistance, but a zipper like this can peel over time, so definitely something to be aware of. The laptop compartment itself it's okay. There's not a ton of padding on the back panel, a bit of padding at the bottom, but the laptop is definitely not elevated. So as long as you have a smaller laptop, you might want to put it in a protective sleeve before you put it into the actual tech compartment of this bag if laptop security is really important to you. All right, let's load out the main compartment with some EDC stuff. I got my JSD Bombus tech pouch at the bottom, Evergoods cap .05, case for a Switch 2, and my Unbound Merino hoodie. And you could see that we got a little bit extra room to play with. And here's the deal, like I said, this is bigger than a 15-liter bag. It just is. Wotancraft is one of the few brands that's under advertising their literage. Most brands would say this is like a 20, but really it's coming in at like just barely 20. I swear, if I put all these things into a 15-liter, a real 15-liter, like it would get tight in there. And you can see we got a pretty nice aesthetic going so far, but here's where things can get a little on the weirder side. Let's talk about these side pockets. Now these have a really interesting design as to where you can see they have these pleat right here that gives them the ability to expand, and then it opens from the back. Now, on the negative side, these pockets are a little tight. You can see I got a 24-ounce Columbia here, and even just now without that in there, like getting this open is tough. It pinches a bit, and then when you want to actually get the bottle in there, like it's hard. So the functionality of these side pockets will vary depending on how packed the main compartment is, which it will with any sort of Audi water bottle holder, but also like keep in mind space is limited, like this little cap thing, you gotta shove that in there, but we're getting there, right? But now, notice what's happening with the aesthetic of the bag. Margaret, how does this look? Is it cool? Margaret, no likey. And that's the problem with these side pockets. Their function, wow, yeah, no bueno there. They almost remind me of like those baggy, like parachute pants or something, as to where they have a lot of fabric that's underutilized until like, I don't know, it really poops out. So that slim sort of aesthetic is gonna be severely compromised whenever you wanna carry a water bottle with you, and the bag is fully packed out. But it could be a good spot for other items, like your phone, giving you quicker access. But the quick access can be a little bit compromised because as you're swinging the bag over, you gotta unzip all the way, and this area here kind of like inhibits zipper openings. You gotta kind of do one of those to really open it all the way. Overall, the pockets offer a nice alternative to storing things in the main compartment and giving you extra quick access, but not without its compromises. Last note, top handle gets the job done. Large enough space for the hands. Really nice reinforced stitching, no qualms there. And real fast, before we jump into the next section, I gotta let you know that if you're really enjoying this deep dive, because we're a bit nerdy at Nomads Nation, guilty as charged, but if that's your cup of tea, you might be super stoked to find out that we don't just do epic reviews on our YouTube channel, but we also have the Nomads Nation newsletter. And in that newsletter, you can look at me like your reporter in the field, where I'm coming at you live, a couple times a month, sometimes once a week, with the newest drops, limited edition collabs, a little bit of industry gossip, and everything in between. So if you fancy yourself to be a bit of a gearhead, especially within like travel gear and everyday carry, you're gonna wanna sign up to the Nomads Nation newsletter, which you can do by finding this globe emoji in the description below. Hope to see you in your inbox. Okay, let's talk about the back of the Wotancraft EasyPack 15-liter. So the back of the bag is actually pretty simple. So look at the shoulder straps. We don't have a lot of like stuff going on here, not a lot of lash points. The back panel, really clean. Wotancraft definitely took more of a minimalist approach with the design of this entire back of the bag. Let's start with the luggage pass-through, which I actually took this bad boy on a trip. Where did we go together? I think it was in Vietnam somewhere. And you can see this thing pairs with a suitcase. Kind of not great, but it also depends. So here's the deal. This luggage pass-through holder is like very tight as to where it's pulling in on either side of the bag in a way that concerns me a bit. As you can see, this luggage pass-through holder is incredibly flush against the back panel. That doesn't give a lot of room underneath, which is nice because it means when you're wearing the bag, it's not gonna be like moving against your back, but then it does get tight against the suitcase like I just showed. I think the reinforced stitching here should be enough to make sure it doesn't pop out, but it's a bit tight for my taste. Back panel also not in line with my taste. No ventilation, no 3D cutouts, just a slab. And on a hot summer sweaty day, it's gonna give you a hot summery sweaty back, which is surprising too because these guys are from Taiwan. I've been to Taiwan. It's a hot, sweaty, swampy mess there in the summer, dude. I'm not judging, I live in Hong Kong, right across the water from you guys. I know what it's like. These summers are brutal. So for me personally, a big con is the lack of ventilation on this back panel. For the shoulder straps though, they're significantly better, at least for my taste. They're quite wide actually for a 15-liter backpack. Look at this, we're at like 3.5 inches. Like for a bag this size, that's huge. A lot of width, which means it's gonna be covering a lot more real estate on your, torso and shoulders. It's also got a contoured shape, providing a bit more comfort. And we got a decent amount of padding right here. See how squishy that is? It's nice, it's maintaining its integrity. A little bit of rebound to it as well. I just love the shoulder straps. They're thick enough. Get the job done. And you can see we just got over 1 cm of padding, which on a 20-liter pack, 15, 20 liters, whatever you wanna call it, it's perfect. But what isn't perfect is the amount of dangle this bag's got going on. It's not the end of the world. I've had worse. It's not an Osprey bag, at least. You can see right here, we have the sternum strap. It's a center connector, which are never my favorites, because then the brands always do a terrible job of managing these little chodes right here. And this little guy hates dangle chodes. Keep up the good work, little guy. We got the excess webbing on the bottom here. There's no web holders. Just kind of makes this bag a little bit of a dangle nightmare. I've had worse, don't get me wrong, but it's not my favorite. For the comfort, I give it like a 3 to a 4, depending on how hot and sweaty the day is. Shoulder straps, nail it. But on those really hot days, I really miss ventilation, which obviously contributes to the comfort, or in this scenario, the lack thereof. But also my taste is different from other people. So if you want to hear anybody else's experience who may have used this bag or any bags in general, be sure to let us know in the comments below or in the Nomads Nation subreddit. We got one of the biggest communities of bag nerds in that subreddit, so someone there should hopefully be able to help you out. All right, let's wrap it up by talking about the overall pros and cons of the Wotancraft EasyPack 15L. Pro number 1, it gives you a lot more packing capacity than you think it would. Pro number 2 is gonna be all the quick access points. And pro number 3 is gonna be its comfortable and lightweight build. But on the flip side, every bag has cons, this one included. Let's talk about them. Con number 1, it's not gonna be enough organization for most of y'all out there. Con number 2 is the aesthetic when you load up these side pockets. And con number 3 is gonna be the lack of really much ventilation on the back panel. I'm not gonna lie, this bag's interesting. It's definitely flawed. It's not perfect, but I've still really grown to love it. And if you're sitting here watching this review and you're thinking the same thing, like, damn, it's not perfect, but I really want that bag, and you're gonna make a purchase, just a reminder that we do ask that you do so with the first link in the description, as that link just makes sure that you get the best price, and if we have any discount codes, that's what they'll be. But if you're not quite sold, let's talk about those alternative recommendations that I teased earlier in the video. Now, if you're new to the channel, I recommend watching the Nomads Nation leaderboard video. This is where myself, Margaret, and the Nomads Nation squad, we all get together and talk about our favorite distinct bags in different distinct bag categories. This is a great way to see what some of the best options are on the market. But if you think we're pretty close with the Wotancraft, let me give you 2 specific alternatives that are just a little bit different. Alternative number 1 is gonna be my pick, and I picked the Able Carry 13. This is a great option for you if you're looking for a smaller backpack, but maybe this one's a little too big and you really want something with a bit more of a streamlined look. The Able Carry 13 is smaller. It's a bit sexier, I think, as where it doesn't get as blobby, while still giving you some quick access and impressive weather resistance. And alternative number 2, Margaret's pick, is the Evergoods CPL16. Good pick, Margaret. This is a really good option because it's definitely a bit more in line with the Wotancraft. Aesthetically, you're not far off. It still offers really great quick access. This is a bag though that's gonna offer you a bit more structure if you don't want as blobby of a look, sometimes depending on how the bag is packed out, and a bit more organization. Honestly, I love all 3 bags, but if you wanna learn more about the alternatives, you can just go ahead and watch these videos right here. I'm gonna leave them both up for a second so you can decide which one you're most interested in. But in the meantime, again, if you got any questions, be sure to let us know in the comments below, or join us in the Nomads Nation subreddit. We're all just nerding out on backpacks and travel gear there. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Aaron, this is Nomads Nation, and we'll catch you next time.